What would a doctor discover if they lived with you?
Hello, doctor, how are you?
24 hours a day. How much would you be willing to reveal?
Do you think you may be addicted?
No.
Would they be shocked by what they find?
That's frankly pretty dangerous.
That looks horrible.
Like most busy NHS GPs, Rangan Chatterjee only gets about 10 minutes with each patient.
Excuse me 1 second, colleague.
Now he's taking on the biggest challenge of his career.
I believe that 99% of a patient's health outcome is what happens in that time outside the surgery room.
He's about to live alongside individual families who struggle with their health.
Who needs help with what?
Your lower back.
I feel out of control of my own body.
Worried about your cancer.
For the first time, he'll gain insight into every aspect of his patients' lives.
This is a unique opportunity. I think I will be able to learn so much. Do they cook fresh foods? Is this how you eat every day?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah? Is it a noisy street? Are there stressful relationships? All these things have a huge and significant role in determining their health. Go!
He'll detect undiagnosed diseases.
I think you've already got it.
He'll deliver some home truths.
Do you get how serious this is?
It doesn't.
Yeah. I honestly want to help you.
And discover ways we could all live longer, healthier lives.
I think it really has the potential to change the way we all look at health in this country. It's imperative that we do something about it, not tomorrow, but now.
As your stepdad, I encourage you to eat as many onions before you leave tonight.
Thanks.
It's just eat as many. Look, in fact, chew on one of these before you leave tonight.
Kingsbury in northwest London is home to Priti Vyas and Sandip Mistry. Both divorcees, they got together 4 years ago.
Sandip and I used to go to school together 30-odd years ago.
I had a bit of a crush on her back then. I don't think she did with me. She made it abundantly clear.
Also living at home is Priti's 19-year-old daughter, Serena.
Me and my mum, we are best friends. She is my best friend, and I'm hers.
They all lead busy lives. 49-year-old Sandip designs bathrooms for a living, and 48-year-old Priti runs a beauty therapy business. The family are particularly worried about her health.
For the last 3 years, I just feel like, oh my God, my body is just going through... It feels like I'm in a tidal wave. You're putting on weight. My skin reacts, come out in eczema. Stress is a daily occurrence. I get upset much more. I'm much more emotional about things. At night, I cannot sleep.
All these herbal medicines, every vitamin that you can think of, she'll think, oh, this will help some way. So I might as well just take it all, but I'm sure that's not right.
Priti and the family are eager for help, so they've signed up for something radical. GP Dr. Rangan Chatterjee is taking a break from his NHS practice in Oldham. He's going to live alongside the family to see if he can transform their health.
Day to day, I get, 7, 10 minutes or so with patients, and you've really got to filter very quickly that information. This, on the other hand, has given me a month or so to really find out everything about this family, and I think by doing that, I can make a bigger impact with their health. Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, good,
Pleasure to
thanks.
meet
How are you?
Great. My name's Sandy, and this
Sandy.
is Priti, my partner.
Hi. When we show you to your room, we'll take you straight up.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
The doctor is staying over so he can experience life in the house morning, noon and night.
Amazing.
Green for healing. That's why
Green for healing, very good.
This is our
Rangan wastes no time in getting to know the family and finding out what he can help them with.
Serena? Yes. Rangan, hey, how you doing? If I just go through one by one, find out what everyone needs help with, is that okay? Mm-hmm. Percy, can we start with you?
Quite a lot with me. I was married for 18 years and I had a very turbulent, stressful married life. And I think the stress, although I don't outwardly show it, I think my body was under a lot of stress. Since then, my weight has really started to, well, I can't slow it down at all. I just seem to be getting heavier. I can't sleep. I get cramp in my legs. Okay. My skin flares up quite a lot. Headaches. I feel very out of control of my own body. I don't know what's happening to it.
Sandy, can we come to you?
I have type 2 diabetes.
When were you actually diagnosed with diabetes?
All in all, maybe about 10 to 12 years now. I take my whole string of medicines, so I feel like a tub of Smarties at the best of times.
Type 2 diabetes is a progressive disease that causes high levels of blood sugar. Sandip takes medication to control it.
We're all a little different. I'm a bit stubborn about the doctors. Don't really feel like running into the office and going to see them every 5 minutes. And she's the opposite.
I can really see the difference in personality. Almost the classic cliches which we hear about the male who doesn't really worry too much about their health, doesn't want to see the doctor, and then your stereotypical female who potentially, some people would say, would over-worry.
Crazy.
I'm not saying this, I'm just saying what...
With Pretty's life affected by so many symptoms, Rongan wants to know what remedies she's already tried.
So this is my little treasure trove, as I call it.
Okay.
I have melatonin to help me sleep, and then I take a multivitamin.
Using more than 20 different over-the-counter pills and lotions has failed to get things under control.
Prevent them. Triphala, which helps for the skin and it helps to clear your system. Then I've got stuff for my headaches.
Okay.
There's the herbal stuff for stress.
If used appropriately, some of these things could be very, very useful. But what this really says to me is that you're trying different things to try and help you. But judging from the amount of things you're taking, something's not quite right.
Yeah.
You haven't found that solution yet.
Absolutely. Sandip, come for dinner. Fancy chopping?
Absolutely. I like the way you've got me doing the salad. It implies that everything you eat is really healthy.
With a doctor in their kitchen, the family can't hide what they actually eat every day.
This cupboard is our goodies cupboard.
Yeah.
So in here we'll have crisps and chocolates and that sort of thing.
I can see soft drink there in the corner. Who has soft
me.
drinks?
I had
That's
that.
you?
That was her. If I get the urge for sugar, then I'm in real problems.
And is that... I'm not sure if I'd be able to resist if that was in my kitchen.
Exactly.
You need a spoon?
I've got all that.
Whoa. You've got to try his onions as well, they're so good.
Absolutely, I will do.
It's a good way to keep her single for a long time, isn't it?
Just really enjoyable for me to actually have chats with them, a really nice family. From a medical view, I spent a lot of time talking to Pretty. She's got a lot of different problems, and I think trying to tease out some sort of commonality there is going to be a bit tricky. Moving on to Sandeep, this is a guy with established type 2 diabetes, and actually there's a lot of stuff in his kitchen that, frankly, I would argue shouldn't actually be in your kitchen if you've got diabetes. I kind of feel really at home here already. In fact, Sandeep actually ironed my shirt this morning, so that was a nice treat for me.
Rongan wants to find out if Pretty's symptoms are all linked.
Ever had bloods done on your coffee table before?
Can't say I have.
He's running some medical tests to get an idea of what's going on inside her body.
And your lungs?
He's also doing some routine tests with Sandip
So that's 39 inches.
to make sure his general health and diabetes are all in check.
Can't remember the last time I've measured myself. Sweet Lord.
Pretty weighs over 15 stone, meaning medically she's classed as obese.
Oh my God. Stop looking.
I just wanted to have a peek.
When I met Sandip, I was 12 stone. Now he's slimmer than I am.
Nearly 3 million people in the UK have been diagnosed as type 2 diabetic, like Sandip.
So something you've had many times before, OK.
Oh, yes.
One of the key functions in a normal body is to keep your blood sugar in a tightly controlled range, not too high and not too low. The body releases a hormone called insulin to keep that blood sugar down. Now, the problem with type 2 diabetics like Sandeep is their lifestyle choices, and in particular their diet, has actually over time damaged their cells, so that insulin no longer works properly. The cells are resistant to insulin. You've mentioned stress a lot to me, and I can see that it's a massive thing for you. And so I've got a way that we can actually try and measure that for you.
Oh, okay.
So this is a test that's going to measure cortisol. Now, you may know cortisol it's like your master stress hormone, and your body releases it in response to stress. You just spit into 4 tubes, 4 parts of the day,
Spit?
Spit.
Okay.
And we can measure the cortisol in your spit. And what it does, it just gives me a really nice idea of how stressed you are.
Spitometer, like it.
– 24 hours later, the blood samples have been analysed and the results have been emailed through.
Oh, OK.
Is it?
How you doing?
Hello.
So blood results have just come back. So, Prissy, if I start with you first of all, not too bad actually, OK?
OK.
So I need to do a bit more detective work, have a little bit more of a think about things. But yeah, Sandeep.
Shall I hold your hand for this?
I mean, the first thing that jumps out at me was your vitamin D level. When vitamin D is low, it's associated with a lot of problems. Immune system, bone strength, you know, weight, all kinds of things. But that's quite easy to fix. But you've got a high homocysteine level. Homocysteine is an independent risk factor for heart attacks. Okay? And in conjunction with everything else, you know, it definitely sets off an alarm bell in my head. Now, the most worrying test for me, your blood sugar level is 9. You know, we're looking for it within the sort of 6 area or under, probably ideally under that. But what's more alarming for me is that you're on 3 separate drugs to control your diabetes, and despite that,
Oh my God.
your sugar is uncontrollably high.
Yeah.
Why is it like this? I mean, what's he doing that wrong, is it?
The biggest determinant of this, diet.
Really?
You basically got too much sugar going around your body and it gets deposited everywhere. It goes in your eyes, causes blindness. It goes in your kidneys, causes kidney failure, and then dialysis. It gets deposited in your nerves.
I know that I have a slight neuropathy in the right foot.
What does that mean, neuropathy? Just...
Yeah, neuropathy.
Loss of feeling. You know, changed up a lot of things.
What?
I didn't know that.
So you already know some of this.
Yeah.
Do you get how serious this is?
He doesn't.
Yeah,
He actually
I can
doesn't.
see how serious it is, but it doesn't mean I have to show it out front, because I have 2 ladies here that will probably get and I don't like to freak them out.
Nasty diseases.
Right, it's okay. Relax, we're going to fix it. So don't stress out.
You need to take it more seriously.
Yeah, but I'm just saying to you, just relax. Yeah, it's just education.
It's education, and I don't feel that you've had it yet. Diabetes, yeah, heart attacks, strokes, you're 5 times more likely to get that. That's pretty alarming in itself.
High. That's so high.
But often it doesn't kill you, it just makes your life a misery.
And everyone else around you.
Yeah.
I'm actually really shocked, and I'm really worried. Now I'm really worried.
It's never easy delivering serious, important news to any patient. I had not been getting any sense from Sandeep, but probably all of them actually, if I really think about it, about how serious things are. He's had a diagnosis for 10 to 12 years of diabetes, yet he's sailing along as if things are fine. They're not fine. Staying as they are is not an option. We need to do something, and I'm going to help them.
Rongan has gone back to his practice to come up with a strategy. He believes the family's food choices are a serious problem.
I'm really trying to find a plan that actually works for all of them, because I think they're more likely to stick to something that they all have to do together.
Make a quick snack.
The main problem is Sandeep's diabetes and Prissy's weight.
That's a lot of cheese, mate.
Not really.
They've been eating certain foods for a long period of time now that raise insulin and raise blood sugar. So I've got to really teach them which foods do that and basically ask them to stop eating them.
Oh my God, it's like I can feel the doctor burning a hole in my head and it's not even here.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Before he gives the family his plan, the doctor has one more test for Sandeep.
Last time I was here, you mentioned you were getting some pins and needles sometimes.
Yes, I was. My right hand. It's predominantly just in the morning.
Well, sometimes pins and needles is associated with diabetes and nerve damage.
You're not full of good news.
Sandip's blood sugar levels are dangerously high and could be seriously damaging his blood vessels and nerves. This might explain his pins and needles. If left untreated, it could lead to loss of feeling and, in extreme cases, amputation. In the UK, diabetes causes over 130 amputations every week.
So this will test 2 nerves in your hands, and you're going to feel 10 impulses for each nerve, OK?
If the signals aren't transmitting well along Sandip's nerves, it could be that the sugar in his blood has damaged them.
What the test has shown, when we're measuring the electric signal, the amplitude is a lot lower in one of the nerves than we would expect. That means you've had nerve death.
OK, that's great. Not.
If you're getting pins and needles predominantly in the morning, that suggests to me that the damage isn't that extensive yet. OK? So it's imperative that we do something about it, not tomorrow, but now. OK, we've got to put this plan into action. So, first thing, don't drink your calories, OK? Where are the sugary drinks?
Started with our sugary drinks.
You mean no squashes at all?
No squashes
No added
at
sugar?
all. Nothing.
No more juices, squash or fizzy drinks, just water, black coffee and tea from now on.
OK, so...
Next, all products with added sugar are banned.
OK, so this is Vitamix. Can you just read me the first ingredient?
Sugar.
Sugar.
Well, this has got glucose syrup. Sugar. We've got the chilli sauce.
Second ingredient, sugar.
Tomato and basil and...
How about sugar? It's not just tomato and basil. Refined processed carbohydrates.
Wheat, corn, rice, potatoes and dairy products are going too, because the doctor suspects they will all turn to sugar too quickly in Sandip's body.
Popcorn? Oh my God, like...
What we're going to eat.
And slightly it's making me think, I wonder if I could stick to it. I'll be honest with you.
I feel bad at the moment.
Excellent.
You should.
Okay.
No, not really.
The foods they are allowed include meat, fish, eggs and nuts. And there's another rule to stick to.
You heard of 5 a day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
OK. I want you to do 5 a day, but my focus is going to be on 5 different vegetables each day.
OK.
So the final phase of this is something called time-restricted feeding. And I would like you to restrict your eating to a 10-hour window. There are so many different health benefits, one of them being weight loss. And I'll see you very soon. Yeah. Call me with anything?
Yeah,
OK?
we'll do.
All right, see you later, guys.
Yes. Good night.
See you, bye.
Rongan also wants the family to take a few food supplements he thinks will help.
We've got some things to talk about.
The banned foods are bagged up to be given to family friends.
This is what I love about being a doctor. This is what I live for as a doctor, trying to give patients information they understand and it's going to really transform their health. I'm just so excited at the moment. I really, really hope they stick to it.
See, I like celery, you don't like that.
No, I like celery. You said I don't like it.
On the first day of the diet, the family have to decide which 10-hour window they're allowed to eat within.
Maybe we just don't eat in the evenings.
No, you can't
No,
do
because
that.
because like you said, we can have nuts, we can have... So maybe we...
I can't do that.
Really? See, I'd be all right.
Because I'll probably want to eat my arm by 9:30.
Time-restricted feeding is based on new science that suggests that people eat less if they're limited to restricted times. Their bodies might also process and manage food better.
I'll give you the slightly bigger portion.
Pretty and Sandip choose 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. With the family's diet in place, Rongan's switching his focus from Sandip to Pretty. He thinks her problems could be a sign she's approaching the menopause, when a woman's reproductive system shuts down. At this time, changing hormone levels can lead to a huge number of symptoms.
I brought with me a sort of questionnaire. For each question, there's 3 answers.
OK.
0 is not at all, 1 is mildly, and 2 is severely.
OK.
Headaches?
2.
Emotional, tearful?
2.
Yeah. Unable to sleep?
Definitely 2.
Daytime sweats and flushes?
2.
2.
Yeah.
Nighttime sweats and flushes?
2.
Pretty's scoring high in the questionnaire, suggesting she is menopausal. It's incredibly common for women her age to be getting these sorts of symptoms. 75% get hot flushes at the very least.
What does it feel like when you have a hot flush?
Best way I can describe it is I feel like my blood's boiling a little bit. So I feel it on my head here. It's literally like it's boiling underneath. And you could touch my skin, but it doesn't feel hot.
So what's actually happening in a hot flush is that you've got a heat control sensor in your body sitting in your brain, OK? Like a thermostat. And the changing hormone levels basically trick the thermostat into thinking that the core temperature of your body is actually hotter than it is.
Oh, I see.
It pushes out the heat towards the outside of your body to try and cool you down.
Yeah.
That's why you feel hot. Have you been offered anything by your doctor?
They didn't even offer it to me, HRT. But I wouldn't take it anyway because I don't like putting extra stuff into your body.
The symptoms that a lot of women experience in the lead up to the menopause are actually caused by falling hormone levels. Now, hormone replacement therapy, or HRT, it replaces hormones. It artificially gives you those hormones back to help alleviate those symptoms. But Pretty doesn't want to take HRT. And I actually think that there's a few things I'd like to try with her that might, hopefully, help her with those menopausal symptoms without going down the HRT road.
The severity of menopausal symptoms isn't just dependent on changing hormones. Lifestyle also plays a part. Rongan is meeting Pretty at work to find out some more clues.
Pretty's got multiple symptoms. She's got symptoms that she attributes to her menopause. She's got stress problems, anxiety issues, headaches, weight issues. I don't think there's one single magic bullet for her.
Good to see you. Yeah, you too.
It's going to be lots of little things in multiple aspects of her life. OK, so you drive here. You normally get here for about 10 o'clock.
Yeah. I eat here.
Do you eat here at the desk?
I eat here at the
whilst
desk. Once
on the
I'm
computer,
working, yeah.
do you? If you were to log onto your email, I just want to see what sort of posture you take.
So...
I mean, I look at you and see the height of your screen compared to your eyes, and I think you're having to bend over to get down to that level. Whereas just an obvious thing for me would be if you put like a thick book under there and raise it up, you would automatically put your spine in a much better position. Now, it's not the whole story, so
that's a good point.
It's just something I'm noticing here. So, are you able to lift that? I'm just wondering if this will balance on that or not. OK. Does it feel different?
You know, the thing is, I'm finding I have to sit like this, where I would be very much like this. You're right, actually.
So it's, again, it's such a simple thing that cumulatively, minute after minute, hour after hour that you're sitting here, instead of being like that, you're just going to be a little bit more upright. And I hope you can see the value in that.
Yeah.
Activity levels are vital to health, so Rongan's given Pretty a monitoring device. This will measure her movement, counting the number of steps she takes every day. The doctor also wants to get to the bottom of another problem, Pretty's sleep. The device she's wearing will also record how much she's getting and how disrupted it is. During the menopause, the symptoms of changing hormone levels can include night sweats and anxiety. As a result, up to 60% of menopausal women experience insomnia. Pretty gets between 5 and 6 hours broken sleep most nights. Rongan hopes he'll be able to get her resting better and for longer. There's also the stress test the doctor gave her. Saliva samples, taken 4 times a day, will be analysed for cortisol, the master stress hormone. The family are 4 days into their diet and they're preparing for work.
I really want sugar. And I was saying to Sandy, I don't care what anybody says now, I'm just going to sneak a little bit of sugar into my tea. And then there was no sugar, so I couldn't do it. But it's really, really hard. I actually feel like a junkie. I feel like I'm having withdrawal symptoms. You know, my tongue's really dry, my head's hurting. There's nothing in the house, so I can't even go, oh, I'll just have that to fill that sweet gap. So I get these, I mean, I don't know about you, Sandy, but I get, like, during the day, these little...
9 o'clock.
Oh, God, yeah. Whoops.
I've held off.
I do feel like, oh...
Chow time!
Yay.
Sandip's initial medical test revealed his diabetes and blood sugar are dangerously out of control. To investigate a bit further, Rongan's arranged a scan to find out what's going on inside his body.
Yeah, with your type 2 diabetes, you've had it a long period of time now.
Yep.
What worries you about it?
I don't actually want to be in the position my father is, which is a couple of heart attacks.
Yeah.
He struggles, you know, just to walk from here to there or get up and down the stairs. I don't want to grow up being someone's invalid.
Sure.
I don't want Pretty to be looking after me, and I don't want to be looking after her. I want to have a bit of longevity with the both of us in reasonable health.
Yeah. Hi, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
Sandip is here for a Dexa scan, which uses low doses of X-rays to analyse his body.
Just lie down, breathe normally, don't tense up or anything like that. Just relax and be still.
Recent research has shown that the fat you carry affects your health in different ways, depending on where it's stored.
Rongan, Sandeep, I have the results.
Okay.
I can take you through them. The good news is that, yeah, you're a little overweight. You know that, right? You're carrying a bit too much fat. Yeah. But in comparison with the male population, you're just over halfway, so it's not as bad as it could be. The bad news, though, is where you're carrying your fat. And you can see from the image here, the orange, the light orange is body fat, and the red is lean mass. So you're very much carrying it here in the trunk and in the belly area.
Trunk and belly, okay.
Now, particularly when we come to visceral fat, now visceral fat is bad fat. Okay, visceral fat is the fat around the internal organs. It's linked with diabetes, it's linked with heart disease. It's very unhealthy. This number here is 162. And I have to tell you that 160 is high risk. Okay, so that number we like to be for a guy below 100, particularly maybe even below 90. Oh. So between 100 and 160, that's increased risk, and over 160 is high risk, and you are at 162. So and I'm obliged to point that out to you.
Oh. And where would that fat really right now be sitting?
Well, that's around all your internal organs, so around your heart, your liver, kidneys, all around the organs.
So it's sitting around the organs?
Yes. This is the dangerous fat. That's the fat that's linked with diabetes, with heart disease, and I know you're worried about that from your dad.
Yeah. You can have a lot of fat, what they call a tofi, a thin on the outside, fat on the inside.
Can we hide this from Pre? Yeah. I might be smiling about it and joking, but it's quite an eye-opener.
Visceral fat increases the risk of many diseases by interfering with essential organs like the liver. Unfortunately, people with a South Asian background have genes that make them prone to store more dangerous fats and are more at risk of type 2 diabetes. Rongan wants to target Sandip's problems with visceral fat and blood sugar. They're spending the day together to see if there are any other lifestyle changes Sandip can make.
You could actually go in the shed. There's a pressure washer in there.
Get it out for you.
Yeah, and I'll finish this up real quick.
Hey, Sandip, so you got some golf clubs in there?
Yeah.
Do you golf at all?
Used to. Sometimes you've got to give up a few things for family. Yeah, I was a very keen sportsman.
Hey, you know, you've got loads of sports gear here.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
What sort of things did you do at school?
I did judo, badminton, cricket, running track, 100, 200, 400. You
used to run all that?
Sprints, yeah.
Sandip's had over 10 years of type 2 diabetes. It really is a shame that he's not that active. Yeah, he kind of potters around day to day. That's great, and it's much better than sitting on the sofa. And I'd encourage him to keep doing that, but Ideally, if he could get back into one of these sports, I think it would be amazing for just the way he feels about himself, but also his diabetes. It's going to enhance insulin sensitivity, which he needs because he's diabetic, but it's also going to help him target his visceral fat, which is, an area we really need to work on. Let's go.
Exercise could lower Sandip's blood sugar by making his body use insulin better. Rangan has a specific activity in mind.
Exercise doesn't need to be this big thing where we get a gym membership or you have to get yourself to the park on a nice day to actually have your workouts. Okay, you can do it right here, right now, on your street. 3, 2, 1, go.
Sandip has to walk as fast as he can in 2 minutes. His progress will be measured against the numbers on the street.
Speed up as fast as you can. Just gone 1 minute. Out of breath yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, 5 seconds to go. Keep it up. Done. Ooh. Let's see what number that is. 46. Should we go again?
Yeah.
Yeah? This is a form of high-intensity interval training.
Okay.
Some people abbreviate it to HIIT, H-I-I-T.
Right.
We know it really helps with visceral fat.
Ah, I got lots of that.
Yeah, exactly. So do it anytime you can fit it in. Go. Are you feeling good? Good. It's good to have a marker to try and beat, isn't it? Are you getting a bit breathless to talk to me?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. Good. 2, 1, stop.
One more.
48, exactly.
Oh, good.
Back to the start.
Well, I won't make 50, I don't think so, but I'll try again. Go on.
There you go. Amazing. You smashed it this time.
Oh.
Now that is out of breath. So how have the last few days been? How are you getting on with the diet?
I'm missing sweet things a lot. That's been the hardest thing for me, where I've just said, I'm sure it won't harm us to have 1 cup of tea with 2 sugars in the morning.
I feel positive because of the weight loss.
Weight loss?
Yeah. So I feel positive about that.
Have you been weighing yourself?
Yeah.
My weight has probably gone down a smidgen, I wouldn't say maybe 1 kilo, that's about it. But see, he looks much slimmer than me. He doesn't suffer, he hasn't got a headache, and he does look...
You don't have diabetes?
Yes, true.
Would you rather have diabetes?
No, definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
So everyone's different.
Yeah.
Focus on yourself.
True,
Let
true.
Sandeep worry about him. In
Yeah.
fact, for you, Prissy, I think the best thing for you
Stop
would be
the scales.
not to look at the scales
Yeah.
for the entire time that I'm here, unless I say so.
Okay. Be nice if you just got 1 headache.
Using the scales every day when you're dieting can be demoralising.
How do you take the batteries out?
The body gains and loses water all the time.
Done.
Cruelty.
So weighing yourself won't always reflect exactly how much fat you're losing. It's now 3 weeks since Rangan first met the family.
Hi, Prissy. How you doing?
I'm good, not too bad.
Pretty's activity monitor has been sending its readings to her phone. She's taken between 2,000 and 7,000 steps every day.
I want to help you build more activity into your daily life, but particularly your working life. So you, like many people, are stuck in an office, you're stuck at a desk. But I'd ideally like you to take 10,000 steps every day. But for you, this will even help with your menopausal symptoms, your hot flushes.
Okay, I will definitely, I'll start it from today only, yeah.
Walking more will help Pretty lose weight and should reduce the severity of her menopausal symptoms. It takes about 10 minutes to walk an extra 1,000 steps at a moderate pace, burning off something like 40 calories.
This ain't half so bad, Sam.
Both Sandip and Pretty have their individual plans to follow. Now, 19-year-old Serena would also like a little help whilst Rangan is around. Since she started working at a nursery about a year ago, her health has taken a turn for the worse.
Since I started working at the nursery, I was just always ill. And even in this week with the heat wave, I've managed to get a bit of a cough and a cold, and then I feel so tired the whole time. It's ridiculous. And I feel like at 19, I shouldn't be like this. I shouldn't be feeling so tired the whole time.
What I'd like to do, if you don't mind, is take some bloods from you.
Yes.
Would you be OK with that?
Yeah.
A blood test will reveal if Serena is low on any vital vitamins or minerals.
OK.
Rongan is now over halfway through his time trying to help the family.
We've already had a nice big breakfast.
He's just dropped by to check on them.
And I've already done some sausage and bacon.
Would you normally have eggs, sausage and bacon?
Yeah.
As a normal breakfast?
Not all the time.
What, can I just see what are the sausages?
The family have been told to avoid any foods that contain wheat and potato.
Yeah, I mean, have any of you looked at this?
Not really. Yes.
OK, so you've got a sausage. 40% of it is meat. OK, so what's the other 60%?
Starch.
Wheat rusk, potato starch, wheat starch. And how much of these have you been eating?
Not a lot. Not a lot.
Yeah,
At the most, we might have a couple at a time.
Yeah, I mean, these are definitely not on your plan in any shape or form.
Okay.
OK, and so, yeah, anyway. But that's what's quite interesting.
I actually bought some frankfurters as well.
Did you?
Oh.
Thinking they would be all right, and then...
Did you eat them?
Well, after I ate them, somebody reminded me to have a look on the packaging, which I did. I did say to Sandip, though, didn't I? Aren't sausages fattening? He said no.
So you're still going to eat them despite you having diabetes that is putting you at close risk of having a heart attack. You're going to still have them.
What am I going to eat instead, then? Sort of
Omelette?
like, I'll have to have the omelette and just forego the sausages. But I mean,
No, it's up
as
to
I
you. I'm
said,
not
I
saying you
haven't-
shouldn't do. I'm trying to highlight that.
Yeah.
This is a serious issue. I don't think we should forget how bad things were for you. I know you made some great changes already, but, you know, you've got nerve damage from the things you're eating, and your blood sugars aren't perfect yet. If you're putting foods in that have got huge, 2 or 3 different wheat ingredients, they're spiking your blood sugars.
Yeah.
Simple as that. They're making great changes. They're feeling better. That's great. But I think they're slacking off. And it worries me. If they're slacking off already, what happens when I'm not here? It doesn't give me much hope they can stick to it long term. They're asking me questions. Is this okay? Actually, I've taught you how to find out if it's okay. You started looking at packets right at the start. They've not even looked at the ingredients. But they don't need me for that. I've shown them how to do that, and they've not done it.
After their setback, the family are redoubling their efforts to stick to the rules.
My own thought, he hasn't said anything to me, but my own vibe on it is that he's panicking. When Rongan said to him, you're likely to drop dead, you're 5 times more likely to have a heart attack or stroke. And he's literally a walking time bomb. I think it hit him hard. But he's finding it extremely taxing. I mean, today he said to me, I'm absolutely exhausted, And I was saying, what about your exercise? And he's like, I'm just exhausted. Come sit down, Sandip.
Two weeks ago, Pretty completed a saliva test to measure her underlying stress levels. Her spit samples were analysed for cortisol, the body's master stress hormone, to see how these levels change throughout the day.
What we want is it being nicely in the middle of this green range here. Okay, there should be this nice rhythm where it's sort of around 20 in the morning, right, and it gradually falls down throughout the day until it's very low before you go to bed. Okay? So here in the morning, sample 1, your cortisol level is nearly at 50. Okay? You can't even see how bad that is on this graph. This only goes up to 35. Actually, that is up here. Yeah. It's really, really high in the morning. Yeah. Sample 3, middle of the afternoon, hugely high. Yeah. Okay? And yeah, it was normal in the evening. But
so you can't literally take a supplement to help calm the cortisol levels? Or
yeah, I don't think you need to be taking supplements for this.
Okay.
Cortisol does many things in the body, but fundamentally I want you to think of it as your stress hormone.
Right.
If you get this in better balance, I find that women don't get as many menopausal symptoms. Not always. It suppresses your immune system when cortisol's high.
Yeah, I can believe that too.
It does so many things.
It's interesting, isn't it?
And I think this is the missing link for you.
Stress is a problem that's on the rise in the UK. Studies suggest nearly 2/3 of adults are more stressed now than they were 5 years ago. The diet and exercise changes Pretty's already put in place should be helping things, but now the doctor wants to try something a bit more direct. Meditation might not seem like something a doctor would normally recommend, but these days, nearly 1 in 3 GPs regularly prescribe it for some patients.
So it's really on a very simple level. It's just noticing the way the body's feeling right now.
Recent studies have shown that meditating regularly can improve stress levels, mood, and reduce fatigue.
There's science now saying that regular meditation can lower your blood pressure and do a host of other things. Are you seeing people coming more from their doctor?
Absolutely.
Really?
I would have thought in the last 10 days I've had at least 5 people have come straight from a GP referral.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really...
And most doctors don't really go down that route, do they? They're more... Let me give you a pill to help you de-stress.
The body knows how to relax. The body has a natural talent for relaxation. It's putting the body first, putting our trust back into the body.
Rongan has told Pretty to try meditating 15 minutes every day. He's also given her a magnesium supplement. The body uses this mineral to relax muscles, and he believes it could help her sleep better. Serena is also taking a supplement. Her blood test revealed that, like a quarter of girls around her age, she has low iron levels.
Lovely.
This could be the reason she's tired, as iron is essential for the body's metabolism.
I think the iron has made a really big difference. I have a lot more energy levels. I can go out probably a bit more without feeling, oh my gosh, I need to go home, I need to go to sleep. I can just do more day-to-day things without thinking, I just want a nap.
But Serena is still suffering endless coughs and colds.
Hello?
She works in a nursery, and the doctor wants to demonstrate how one of the causes might be her environment.
All right, then. I've got a game for you here. Make a circle first. That's a part 1 of the game, all right?
You, Spider-Man.
These dishes contain a special gel. When the children touch it, any bugs on their skin get transferred onto the surface.
That's brilliant. That's it, Batman.
Over the course of the next week, the germs feed on the gel and multiply. The coloured blobs forming here indicate different colonies of bacteria and fungi. It's a result you could expect from any nursery. Viruses like coughs and colds are transferred just as easily as these bugs, and children get around 3 times as many colds as adults. So, if you work with kids, you're simply more exposed than other people.
I've got some results. Do you want to see them?
Oh my God. Oh, that looks horrible. Oh, what is it?
Basically, all these different colours, like these white splodges, are probably a bacteria called Staphylococcus. Some of these look as though they might be what I'd call fungus, so Candida.
Oh my God. That's disgusting.
This is just on the kids' hands.
No.
And do you remember the kids just put the fingertips there, what, 2 or 3 seconds? You see how easily it's transferred.
Yeah.
If you think about it, you're playing with the kids, touching the toys.
And they lick all the toys, so that's even more germs.
You're not going to get rid of those germs there, OK? But what can you do? Well,
Let's wash my hands.
Wash your hands, in particular before you're touching your face. So if you think about these bugs are on your hands, OK, and you touch your face, it's very easy to get in through your nose or in through your mouth. So I'm hyper cautious before I touch my face that I've washed my hands. I hope this makes you think of it in a slightly different way.
Yeah, it does. It makes you realise how much you're probably exposed to.
Yeah.
Sandip and Pretty are sticking to Rongan's diet. The stakes are particularly high for Sandip, whose diabetes is putting him at risk of an early death.
Oh my God, stop eating.
Now there's a final radical intervention left Rongan wants to try.
I was hoping we might be able to step it up a little bit now to see if I can really accelerate what I can do with you for the next few weeks.
Okay.
I was going to propose that you do a one-day complete fast. Fasting might seem like quite a drastic thing to do, but there's more and more research suggesting that it can actually help reverse type 2 diabetes. Now, one of the ways it can do this is by improving the body's sensitivity to insulin, and that can help you manage blood sugar levels much more effectively. Now, diabetics should only fast under the guidance of their doctor, but whilst I'm working with Sandy, I think it could reverse things enough to help get him off some of the medications that he's currently relying on.
After I ate tonight, so I don't have to eat again until tomorrow night.
Oh my
except
God.
for water. I'm going to starve tonight.
Oh my God,
No.
you're miserable enough with a little amount of food. Thank you.
No.
I think he may be responsible for a divorce.
The next day, Sandip is keeping busy. He's consumed nothing but water for nearly 22 hours.
Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, all right, not too bad.
To assess how fasting has affected him, Rongan is getting Sandip to check his blood sugar level with a home monitoring kit. A healthy reading would be between 4 and 6.
5.9 is excellent.
Yeah.
That's absolutely perfect. I think you keep doing what you're doing, I think we're going to see really big changes.
So what's your recommendation on the fasting act? 1 on, 2 off? Or...
Well, I'm delighted to hear you ask that, actually, because I was worried it would be a struggle to get you to even fast in one day, but you really sort of took it on and said, yeah, OK, bring it on. If you could do it 2 or 3 days a week, I think we would see amazing, rapid improvement. Well, look, it's time now to break the fast.
Yeah.
OK, you've done your day. I'm really, really pleased. So let's go out for dinner.
No problems.
Yeah.
A trip to one of the family's regular haunts gives Rongan the chance to show them they can stick to his rules, even when eating out.
So if we normally came here, my favourite thing is a big naan with lots of butter on it.
Okay, I have what they call a Bombay mix here, which is chili crisps, peanuts.
Indian meals can have loads and loads of great vegetable dishes, so I think we could maybe ramp up some really tasty veg.
Yeah.
No? Doesn't excite you like it excites me?
No, I can handle that.
Why don't you choose for us and then we'll try it?
No butter?
No butter?
No yogurt?
No yogurt as well.
Yeah. No cream? You know, like a samosa has got a wheat batter. We're trying to avoid wheat as well.
As someone else is doing the cooking tonight, the family have to interrogate the waiter to make sure they're sticking to their diet.
Lovely. Looking forward to this now.
Does that not look good?
That does. It does.
Does it look good?
All right.
Great. Hey!
This is good, though. There's aubergine in here, green beans, courgette, tomatoes.
Can I just ask before we start, are we being deprived at the moment?
I am quite.
OK, all right, OK. Really, really excited about how far I can go with Sandip now because he's got the diet, he's got the 10-hour eating window, but now he's got the fasting as well. He absolutely nailed the fast today. If we could do that 2 or 3 times a week, I think the results could be fantastic.
The last problem to tackle with Pretty is her hot flushes. They're the most common menopausal symptom, and for many, they're very disruptive.
Pretty tells me she doesn't want to take any pills for her menopausal symptoms, but I wonder if acupuncture might help her hot flushes. Now, look, the research isn't clear on this. Some trials say it works, some trials say it doesn't, and some people think it's simply a placebo effect. Personally, I think it's something a little bit more than that, and I've seen it work really well sometimes. But for someone like Pretty, who's so open to this kind of therapy, I think it could be just the ticket.
It's going to be absolutely symmetrical.
Acupuncture involves putting needles into shallow points around the body. It's a bit controversial. Some researchers think it works by stimulating the nervous system, but not all scientists are in agreement.
What ones are going to help for the hot flushes?
Hopefully all of them would do. The ones in the feet I would consider probably to be the most important ones, also the ones in the ankle.
So will I just not feel the hot flushes as much as that?
Yes, it'll just reduce.
So how are you feeling, Pretty?
I feel good. I feel very relaxed.
Excellent.
It's been 2 months since Rongan first came to the house, and the family have been working hard to change their lifestyle.
1, 2.
As well as the diet and exercise, Pretty's meditating regularly. And Sandip is fasting 3 times a week. The doctor's getting Sandip to check his blood sugar regularly, and over the last few weeks, he's weaned him off 2 of his 3 diabetic drugs. Now it's time to measure exactly how far they have come. They're undergoing the same battery of tests they went through at the start.
It's slightly bizarre that I'm going to deliver some very important medical results actually to a family who I now consider close friends. It's quite odd, it's very different from my day-to-day work. There really isn't that distance there, and I think that makes it a little bit more challenging.
First, Rongan's delivering Pretty's final results. Her original saliva test revealed a serious stress problem. The 4 points on the graph should sit in the green zone.
So that's super high, far too high, and the new ones.
Wow. The morning one's gone down.
The morning one's almost
26,
half.
Yeah.
It's now 26.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic. Were you expecting that?
I wasn't expecting that, actually. But I know I've been working towards trying to get, trying to get my stress levels down. So, with the meditation in particular.
Getting stress under control can help with a number of other health issues, including the menopause. Once again, Pretty's taking the questionnaire to rate the severity of these symptoms from 0 to 2.
Daytime sweats and flushes.
1.
Nighttime sweats and flushes.
1.
Headaches.
0.
Tiredness.
0.
Loss of energy.
0.
General aches and pains.
0.
These top ones, which are basically your classic menopausal symptoms, you scored 14. That's gone down to 3.
I'm not so tired, I don't have the headaches, and the acupuncture really helped with the hot flushes, definitely.
One of the biggest problems for Pretty was sleep.
You've gone up from 5.5 hours to 8 hours. No wonder you're feeling so good.
Yeah.
Rongan now wants to check how Pretty and Sandip have changed physically.
Take your finger off for me. 37 inches. It was 41.25, right? 41.25. It's come down to 37.
Wow.
4.25 inches. Wow. Put it there.
Give you a hug. Wow, I'm so surprised.
Let's do a blood pressure now.
Oh, I'm really pleased. Oh, look, she's crying for me.
Oh, good at it.
I'm confident, I know how much it means.
It is a big thing for her. So we're really both happy for her.
Are you okay?
Oh, I just was trying really hard, and sometimes, sometimes you just think you're not going to get results. Yeah, no, that's really good. I'm pleased.
It's good.
I don't know why I'm so...
Right, wait time.
Okay.
So, 14 stone and 3/4.
You dropped a stone.
14 is still too heavy, obviously, but it's on the way down.
I'm super impressed with that.
I'm actually incredibly happy. Thank you.
Looks a lot better, that's for sure.
8 weeks ago, Sandip's stomach was quite pronounced.
Wow. 34.5 inches. It was 39 inches.
Oh my God.
4.5 inches off your waist.
1, 2, 3, 4 when we started.
Yep, on you go. 12 stone 8 3/4. You were 14 stone 3. That's more than 1.5 stone.
I know I've lost weight, but it's not the weight that I'm worried about. It's the internal body scan.
At the start, Sandip had dangerously high levels of visceral fat, linked with heart disease, strokes, and his diabetes.
Your level was 162. Ideally, we want it under 100.
That's fine.
Your new visceral fat score,
Yep, 30 points.
it's come down to 129. You're halfway there in just a few weeks.
I was hoping to get even better, but it's a good result, you know, considering where I was.
Now, the test for me that I'm most excited about is your type 2 diabetes test. I did a reading called your HbA1c, and that gives me an average look at your blood sugar for the last 3 months. And I was, frankly, worried when I saw that. It was 9 on 3 diabetic drugs. Now, had you not been on any drugs at all, that could have been 11 or 12.
Yeah.
Your new average blood sugar reading
That's good.
is 7.
Okay, that's 2 points down. A lot better.
And during that time, you've come off 2 diabetic drugs.
Yeah.
I think that's a fantastic result.
So I'm really happy with that. Don't look it, but I am.
Just a few weeks of making some lifestyle changes is not gonna magically wind the clock back to the start.
Right.
But you can magically wind back the clock if you keep going.
Thank you for everything.
For me, I really have to stay the course, and I have another probably solid 2 months worth of hard work ahead of me.
I really do believe this whole process has saved his life. You know, I said to him, it'll give us another 5-10 years to spend healthily together, where I'm not looking after you after you've had a stroke or a heart attack because of your own doing.
That experience with this family, dealing with the complex dynamics that were there, that's taught me a lot. That has been a complete transformation. I feel really, really chuffed as well. I mean, those results are fantastic.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Well done, all right.
Safe
See you
journey.
later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Next week, Rongan's in Manchester,
Oh, Doctor, how are you?
with a family urgently needing help.
Say night-night. Night-night. Bye.
Bye.
He'll try to solve a 5-year-old's terrible skin condition
Gets all red and itchy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
and treat a bodybuilder whose severe back pain has led to a dangerous problem.
Do you think you may be addicted?
I am not dependent on taking painkillers. I am dependent on being pain-free.